Ready, hunt!
Thank you, Michael. Welcome, everyone. Reviewing back on the Kansas State game, I said after the game, and really felt so afterwards, that one of the more complete wins as a team that we've had in quite a while. When you look at the number of players really that stepped up and made big plays and made significant plays in the game, to give us an opportunity to win. Some guys offensively that really played well up front. Gabe Eichert once again, Tyler Evans, Adam Shedd, guys Donald Stevenson, Lane Johnson really did well. And then, so many skill guys had nice plays and nice games. Of course, Ryan Boyle was 171 yards receiving on 14 catches, 2 touchdowns, special again. Jazz Reynolds stepped up. DeJuan Miller, Kenny Stills, all with big and good plays. Thought all the running backs really contributed in a positive way. Roy Finch was a spark once again. Trey Millard, consistently plays great. And the other young guys, all Brennan Clay, Brandon Williams did a nice job. Landry Jones, again, sets a school record, 505 yards. Just a great day away from home. Against a team that was, after 7 games, not 2 or 3, was number 1 in the league in total defense. So, it's really an excellent game on his part as well. Defensively, we really settled in the second half and played great football and tackled better. We were a little more assignment correct. And, to hold them to, I think, something like 16 yards or so in the second half and 0 points was really good football. Again, guys up front, Casey Walker, Jamarcus McFarland, Stacey McGee, Frank Alexander, Ron L. Lewis, David King, R.J. Washington, all those guys really did well. Ron L. Lewis was one of the players of the game. Sam Proctor, Tony Jefferson in the secondary, also players of the game. And then Tom Wharton, Corey Nelson were also players of the game. Those guys really led the team in tackles and each had a couple sacks, really played well. So anyway, it was a good, solid win and gets us to this game here with Texas A&M coming here, a team that's has 17 or 18 starters back from a year ago where they had an excellent season. They've lost 3 very tough games against excellent teams. You look at the 2 early with losing by a point to Oklahoma State, 4 points to Arkansas. There's 2 teams in the top 10. Both of those games, they have opportunities in the fourth quarter to have a great opportunity to win. And this week, they're in an overtime game with Missouri and end up, losing it. But in all those games, I think the main factor was just turnovers. If they don't, if they have 1 or 2 less turnovers in those games, their opportunity to win is, in all likelihood, they do win those games. So we're aware of, the quality of football team they are, and we need another really good week of practice to give ourselves an opportunity to win here this week.
You haven't figured out how you can play like you did against Tech, how you played against Kansas State?
Well, we executed better and played better here this week.
With practice, could you see them practice?
Well, again, they did have a good week of practice, and it carried over.
Tannehill is still a relatively young quarterback. You saw him a little bit last year, and I'm sure you've seen highlights and things up to this point. His development, can you talk about that a little bit and how much he's grown? He
throws the ball well. You could tell he's a composed and a tough competitor. He's an excellent athlete, so when he pulls the ball and runs with it, he looks good doing so, so he can do a lot of things.
He moved over from receiver a year ago in September or whenever. Any similarities the way what you had with Paul Thompson in terms of things he can do athletically or how a guy makes that transition?
Yeah, it's probably fair to say that he makes the transition because he has the ability to be a quarterback, and the skill to be one, and then he so then he gives you a little dimension in that he's a good athlete, that when he pulls the ball, he's going to hurt you maybe more than than some quarterbacks that don't run it as well. He's got good size to him as well to absorb the hits. So he does a lot of good things. But like I said, he throws the ball really well also.
Talk about the balanced offense, maybe the most balanced you faced all year.
That's fair to
the
say.
challenge of facing a team that can do either pretty well.
Yeah, it's very fair to say probably the most balanced team, that we've played through the year, and they do an excellent job running the football. They're creative on how they run it. They want to run it, and they're good at running the football, and they've run it on everyone. And then they take advantage of that and of how you're trying to stop the run with play action passes and efficient passing as well. So it's a big challenge.
Is it in some ways make the week more interesting for the players when you play Tech and it's the typical Tech offense, people running everywhere, and then Kansas State the next week, single wing football. Then this week you got sort of a traditional team that can do, power running and good passing. So does that keep the players sort of
Well,
sharp that it's a completely new week?
I think each week's a completely new week, and so it's always challenging. Very few offenses have that much in common, so there's always different challenges every week, and so they need to be engaged. That's for sure. It'll be it's tough to handle all that they do.
Will Ben Haber play?
Did Jamel, so I would expect that both of those guys will be set to play. And Jamel was awfully close the other day, just didn't quite feel with preparation and the confidence you need to go out. It's one thing to practice, it's another thing to compete, at full go, and he wasn't quite comfortable with it, but I believe he will be this week, and we'll see how it goes for Ben during the week. But I would anticipate him playing.
Would he roll at both guards, or?
We're going to see how that goes. He may even be at center.
Is there a nervousness when a guy has a knee that he's been medically cleared, but he's not quite sure about it? He doesn't want to play and then hurt the team, but yet he really wants to play.
Well, I think as much as anything, it's just a comfort level. He would never have been cleared if they didn't feel structurally he's fine. But it's one thing for them to tell you you're fine, and it's another thing for you to go 100 miles an hour running out there competing and making all the different cuts that you have to do. I think you have to do it in practice till you gain that confidence.
Would Ben Haber have to snap it left-handed? And
No, he's got a forearm cast and he snapped some yesterday and it looked good. So I just don't want to say that it's going to be fine and then through the week it isn't. So it's only Tuesday. But right now, I feel fairly positive that he's going to be okay with it, but we'll see.
What's Finch doing now that you have the confidence level that you're doing him now?
Well, we're going to continue to get Roy the ball, and I think our offense has done a really good job of getting it to him in a lot of different ways, and we'll continue to do that. But the other guys, Roy's not a guy that can play 50 snaps. He's best, I think, the way we're doing it, and the other guys are going to all have to step up and play 20, 25 snaps also in different ways, and even Trey Millard once in a while in there. So so we'll see how that goes.
Brandon Williams, how much better is he from now to the first day of two-a-days?
Yeah, quite a bit, just more reliable, and he's understanding his responsibilities a lot more consistently, and so I feel too as we move here through these games that he's gonna get his opportunities more and more too.
How about the development of Jazz and how that addition of a third receiver, when you're out there, really helps the offense as a whole?
Well, it makes a big difference in that you just have you spread the field more when there's people like Jazz that are making big plays that it's hard then to isolate on other guys, and so it's been positive really all year, the way Jazz has emerged and coming up with the plays that he's coming up with.
You gonna keep on using the Wildcat with Blake Bell in there?
Pardon me?
The Wildcat with Blake Bell back there?
No, we're not going to use it anymore. We're done with that. So
How did you feel on the fumble? Was it Finch or was it Blake's fault?
That's Blake's, but that's why it was so great to get it out there, and that's why even later in the game, I asked Coach Heupel to, give it a few more, let's get it on tape, get more comfort with it, and he's going to be fine with it. So it's just a wrinkle that'll be there, and the positive part of that is there's multiple ways you can run with them, but also we like the way he throws the ball. So we'll have some different combinations and different ways to throw it too, that hopefully to take advantage of people or the way they align, to stop it.
You guys just call that cat right now?
Yeah.
Nothing special or fancy or Blakeish or?
Cat.
Would he compare athletically to Jason White before the knees? I mean, is that?
Yeah, but with about 3 inches and about 25 more pounds, so or 30. Jason wasn't nearly that big, but as far as an athlete, yeah.
Bob, was there any part of you that think about, let's not trot it out there, save it for sort of a surprise element?
No.
Or is the counter to get the reps in a game situation?
Well, the first time we trotted it out, and I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry. The first time we trotted it out was first touchdown. So who's to say we were going to win the way we were, right? That you can't anticipate that. So it's already out of the bag. And the other part was, just as you saw, it's his first time out there. He drops one of them. It's experience running it. And the other ones, when he didn't gain maybe what he should have, he'll see if he has a little more, different way of looking at it. He has a seam, so you have to get experience doing it. So, no, we were glad to get it out there and to get him more comfortable in it. And I think Coach Heupel even said the first one out there, he could barely get it out of his mouth in the huddle. So, so anyway, that's part of being a young guy that hadn't been on the field a ton, and so I think it's good that we got it out there.
Bob, how's his passing, his motion, and all that you want a
Excellent.
quarterback to do come since he's first gotten on campus?
Oh, it's he looks good throwing the football. He's a big, strong guy. He's got a good release, and Coach Heupel really with Drew and Landry and all those guys, he's in that same mold, and they do a great job of teaching and playing with technique.
Tom Ward's improved in a lot of areas, but has he improved the most in pass coverage compared to last year?
He's also improved in run defense too, and where he needs to be. So in both, I'd say he's made.
So across the board?
Yeah.